Our first speaker is Mr. M.S. Mukundan, Assistant Vice President, Hyundai Motor. He joined Hyundai in May 1998. With over 27 years of experience in automobile industry, Mukundan has worked in different roles at Hyundai, like production and corporate planning. Before joining Hyundai, he worked in the areas of tooling. He is currently heading production planning, new model development, facility enhancement, and inbound logistics of Hyundai Motor India. He was one of the driving member of the initiative My Place, My Pride, and along with steering committee, he was instrumental in engaging employees. Apart from his work life, Mukundan has keen interest in networking with young, vibrant minds during his free time and helps them to aim higher in their journey. Mukundan, I'm glad to say that we have some student community here. I'm sure you would like to interact with them during the coffee break. His presentation is titled Quality and Reliability in the Automotive Sector. I'm presenting to you, Mr. Mukundan.
Good morning to all. I'm privileged to be here, and thank you for inviting me. And I would like to share what in automotive industries we do for quality and reliability. So just a brief warming up on what is automotive industry and how we are. So if you see the transportation, in 19th century it starts with railroads and powered by coal, not much connected to the network. In 20th century, it started with ICE vehicles. We all know we have a story from 1905, Ford, mass production, so many things, total industrialization. It was a turning point. And again, of course, the newly found crude oil and petroleum products were used for that in 20th century. Now, we are in 21st century, we don't know where we will end up this century. There are a lot of things going on. Right now what we have is BEV, is battery charged electric vehicle, and fuel cell electric vehicle, autonomous cars. And again, it is powered, everyone talks about green. So again, it is through solar, wind, hydrogen, green hydrogen, so many things there. And it is also now highly connected with the network. So automobile industry is now cannot survive without network. That's going to be the order of the day. And maybe by the end of this century, we don't know how to define automobile, whether this is going to be the same like what we see right now, or there are a lot of features like pod, purpose-built vehicles, and a lot of things coming up. So it's a very interesting. And one thing is sure, the evolution is very fast. The change is happening fast. So that's the trend happening in transportation. So there is Mr. Murli was talking about this paradigm shift is happening. And again, the new green deal is something which we need to look at. So I would like to briefly explain about how Hyundai evolved. It all started in 1967, again 20th century, with automobile. A small plant in Ulsan, South Korea, in 1967 was founded. Now it is the largest integrated plant in the world. It has got 5 plants inside a campus. That's the largest integrated plant. Now this is where our company's origin started. But in our soil, we started in 1996. A couple of years before, we had a 25 years celebration. So 1996, we had a footprint in our Chennai plant. Right now, we have 3 major entities. One is the corporate headquarters. Again, Gurgaon was pointed out earlier by our speakers. And R&D center in Hyderabad and our factory in Namma, Chennai. So overall 2,449 touch points. So this is the network which is required to, and I think this itself is not enough. We have to expand to our vast, diversified country. Again, we are one of the fastest to reach 10 million in June 21. That is 20 million cars were produced in this. And continuously we have new products delivered and offered to the customers. And to be sustainable as a global vision, our global vision is lifetime partner in automobile and beyond. So we are in line with this. We have offered every segment, and starting with hatchback, sedan, SUVs, and electric. And one more, the premium electric is going to be on the road within a couple of months. That is a global brand, Ioniq 5. So this is the product lineup. If you see why I have come here to talk about quality, in the past 9 years, 6 years, the Indian car of the year was from Hyundai. So that is one thing which we are all very proud, and thanks to the customers who have encouraged us with this kind of recognition. So with this background, I would like to talk about what we are doing and what is the trend happening in auto industry. So if you see, I'm classifying this into 3 driving factors, and even though quality and reliability cannot be separated, there is no boundary clear cut, but I would like to talk about that. There is a paradigm shift in customers. Yes, this was also addressed. Earlier, manufacturing, we were talking more about rejection percentage and it's one among lot size kind of thing. Now, that product is taken as an emotional bond by the customer to the product. Customers are becoming more emotional to the product. So we need to take care of that. And again, Mr. Murli was talking about, it's not about dimensions. It's something else. Definitely, yes, sir. It's not about PPM. It's about user experience. So they're connected to the product, whatever be the product. And being a luxury product or the hard-earned money if they are spending, it gets more attached to the minds of the customer. So we need to take care of this user experience. We need to see that it doesn't impact, and it always gives a very good feel. Apart from this, there are a lot of changes happening. One accident leads to a regulation. For example, the recent regulation is rear seat belt reminder. So we need to be in line with the requirements, and you don't get time for that. Hardly, I would say, we could see a lot of battery EV fire accident in two-wheelers couple of months before. Within 6 months, we were mandated to comply with a new regulation for that kind of things, a new cooling system, a new testing methodologies. We don't have so much time to react. So we have to be more responsive, and the regulations are stringent, and the timeline given are very, very challenging. So that's the background with which we are all working. If you see, we have a global product. We have 32 plants. We have almost more than 190 countries all over in the world we are exporting, but not from India, overall. In India, we are exporting to around 85 countries. We cannot have those products directly in India. We are unique. So that's because, for example, some are hilly area. Okay, you can take care of that. Some countries are cold countries. So we can classify, but in India we have a lot of different things. We have different class of people, different class of customers. We have different class of conditions. For example, the road conditions, okay, traffic, driving habits, the horn application, the clutch application, climatic conditions, all those things are unique. We cannot just like that bring a product, and I would say there are some competitors who could not bring a product which is highly suitable for India, because the market may look small, but they have to give a special product for India. That is key for anyone to stay for a longer time. So that is one thing which we recognized, and we have worked on this. Customer voice. Again, when we are talking about customer, the voice of customer. One dissatisfied customer can influence 22 people. This is just a survey taken in the year 2013, around 10 years before. Now you can imagine, with the advancement, with the exponential advancement of social media, this is, I cannot guess. So the voice of customer is heard every nook and corner across the globe also. So that's something which is very, very sensitive, which we need to be very careful, and we need to give a thought on this. So this is the background. This is where our customer stands. So how we are going to move forward, how we are doing it. First of all, we need to adapt to a unique requirement for our own conditions. In Hyundai, we have extensive drive test. We have a durability test for any model which is coming here. We have a durability test in the path which covers almost all the terrains. And of course, we listen to the customers. So far, I would say I could count around 34 unique designs which were done only for Indian market in our product line. For example, a stirred dust cap or an electronic horn. Earlier, we were offering electrical horn, but our usage of horn is very high. So nobody wants to wait. Even in signal, we can hear horn sound. So, and the first second of the signal change, we can hear a separate music. So we have changed. We have made it electronic horn a standard product for our offers, because again, we need to adhere to the requirements of the customers. So that is about voice of customer. In manufacturing, we have a very integrated system which covers from our press and weld shop to assembly shop, and also to our vendors. We are totally integrated with a global quality management systems. I would like to just explain some more on this. So, for example, the assembly line, the inspection is confirmed with the digital means. For example, in the lines, we have electrical assisted tools, and also inspection is done using tough pads. Tester line is again integrated with the MES system, and we have a special system in the road. When we do road test, we have a dynamic testing machines, and this F-scan is one thing which we do to check the circuit in every vehicle which we produce. So if any one of the product, any one of the parameter is not conforming to the standards, we cannot sign off this vehicle. So that is the integration which we have. For example, if we have more than 200 torque points which are considered safety and critical, and any one torque which is not meeting the specifications, it immediately gives an alarm to the keeper, where the keeper have to take a special care on that and recheck, retorque and recheck and clear it. Unless otherwise it is done, the sign-off cannot happen. So this kind of interlock is there in our manufacturing system. And this is one thing which is every year we are focusing on this, what we call as end-of-line testing. All our vendors, we are mandating them to fix their product into the end item conditions, like where it is going to be fixed, and see that in their line itself they can find the assemble or functionality in confirmation in their shop. Even the engines which we produce, for example, the third one is a vision system which takes 45 frames in a second. So it confirms all the parts, whether it is in place, any damage is happening, or whether specification is in line with that. Every engine passes through this. Similarly, engine testing. We do cold testing. In order to be more environment friendly, we have stopped using hot bed testing, which means without fuel being injected, the engine is tested in a cold condition with a programming, and everything is moved and it is checked. So similarly, all our vendors, they are also equipped in giving the product after testing for the purpose, whatever is there. So this is one thing which is ongoing, I would say, because every time we have any issue, we go back to the EOL and see how it can be incorporated in the end-of-line testing, and it gets repeated. It is something, a process FMEA kind of thing, which continuously we are doing on this. So when I talk about regulation, one of the regulation is the recall policy, which has come a couple of years before. Yeah, last year it was more discussed. So now all the safety critical parts, the batch code and everything is tracked to the vehicle. So this is a global part traceability information system for all the safety parts. It is tracked for the vehicle. And as I said, with different conditions, we need to have a wheel alignment test and dynamic drive test, where it captures the condition of the vehicle in different 17 drive test tracks, and see the performance to the standards which is fixed, and then only it gets signed off. And again, the shower test. So when these are all things which we do it as a quality check in our vehicles, in our products, whichever is offered. When we talk about reliability, it goes behind that. Most of them goes behind that, and some are the addition to what we have in our quality check. As a concept of TQM, we all know 1:10:100 ratio. Whatever we do, if we do it preventively, we save the cost, and we have the cost of poor quality is not there. So we have virtual assembly trial for any new model. So before the pilot, we have a virtual assembly trial done by our engineers in Chennai plant. The drawings can come from R&D in Hyderabad or from Korea, but the assembly check is done by our assembly engineers and manufacturing engineers in our plant. And whenever we go for a robo change, the robo change or robo additions, the robo offline programming is also done. So everything is digital, and the simulation is also done. So these are all things which helps us in avoiding the quality problems in the later stage, and also reduce our cycle time or the timeline to bring the new product. So when you come to the process need to be, the operator need to be assisted with whatever the ease of working. So for example, we have a bearing selection system or digital work instruction or spec identification, light system. Those kind of things are extensively used in the shop floor, where the skill needs to be reduced. The de-skilling happens. It need not make the operator think much. So a light is there, he can directly pick it up. So this is one thing, even many of our vendors are doing it, but this has to be extensively followed. And even, for example, a shutter opens only when on the bin where I need to take out the part. So these kind of things de-skills the worker, and that is one thing which is very, very important in this situation. And of course, the dashboard monitoring and continuously focusing on what is happening is one thing which we do. We are also working on some of the latest technology which is coming up. We have a couple of areas fixed with deep learning vision systems, where machine learning, continuous learning is happening on say the sealer application or brazing conditions, where it is continuously monitored with the vision system, and it is okay. The machine is taught about the right and wrong part, and it takes a decision. So this is one thing which is extensively we are using right now. And intelligent character recognition, I am just giving some examples. This is one area we have done, and we are going to extensively use this, because this helps every one of us on the data analytics. Because if you use a check sheet manually, or if you use a check sheet, you cannot have a track on what is happening over a period of time. So we are bringing those, whatever is happening, because we are doing, one car is moved out in every minute. So we have to do some check sheet. We cannot have everything digitally. So even if we are doing manually, it has to be digitalized so that we can use it for data analytics. So that is one thing which we are doing it. So Mr. Raj has already given an indication. So now that, as I said, it is changing fast, we have started giving products which are in line with the new technology. Right now, our Tucson is in line with the level 2 advanced drive assistance system, ADAS systems. This also calls for a lot of quality checks, because before offering to this customer, we do all these systems, check, for example, forward collision avoidance. These are all some of the features which are there. Surround view monitoring, lane assist, high beam assist, blind view monitor. All these things, we are having a testing system facility incorporated in this to ensure that once the product is offered, we don't get any issues for the customers. So this is a continuously evolving field, and we need to, and I would be very happy, I am very happy to say that there are a lot of players in India itself who can help us in digitalizing and in terms of improving the quality using technology. And a lot of things we are doing it in-house also, in-house and also with our suppliers. It's not that we are going out. So that's one point where we can take advantage in India. So with this, I will conclude my presentation. And so our aim is to make quality time. So thank you very much, and answer any questions if you have.
Okay. Question to Mr. Mukundan. Can you elaborate on this cold running of engines? What will be the effect of the friction and lubrication for the engine when you run the engine in a cold condition? Number one. Number two, what is the plan, or is there any plan for Hyundai Motors to design a driverless car?
Cold test is a process. It is not that whole engine will be run, because when we are doing this separate assembly itself, lot of testing is happening. We call it as IP1, IP2, IP3 testing. So as a whole, the overall coordination activity only will be checked. So that itself will guarantee us on the engine performance. And coming to the second point, I'm very proud to say, just 2 weeks before I was in Korea, I was driving on a autonomous car. It was a autonomous van, I would say. We were in R&D center. I was witnessing two things. One is a Nexo with a hydrogen-powered vehicle. And I was in a car, I was in a van, around 10 of us. And we could see the driver was holding up just to demonstrate. And we were going around the R&D center. So it is there. Only thing is, the infra need to be there. And a lot of people are working on it. It's not that only Hyundai is doing that. A lot of people are there. But infra need to be changed, and with 5G technology it is possible, but it is a very, very long way to go. We cannot expect so soon. It all depends on how the vehicle to vehicle is getting connected, and a lot of other infrastructure requirement is there. But it is possible in a very long run. That's why I said, end of the century we will not know where we will be standing.